Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and we are playing along on Sunday afternoon with Scraplift Crafternoon. This is every Sunday a group of us get together and we choose somebody's layout to scraplift, and this week we are doing Julia's layout from Scraps by Jules. All her details will be in the playlist down below and her full socials as well. So to start off with, I'm going to do some stenciling on the layout just as she has done on hers, and I am using some distressed ink from Tim Holtz, and this one is, I'll let you know what it is when I find it again. Oh, here it is. It is Rustic Wilderness, and all I'm doing now is changing out to the bundled sage ready to add the extra one. Now I have these papers here. I've had these for ages, like they are so old. I can't even tell you. I think one was 2001 and one's 2009. So that's how long I've had these papers for. But they are great papers. One is even a Cosmo Cricket, and it's the driver's ed one, that's telling you how long I've had these papers for. So I'm tearing down my pieces down the side here, just as Julia has on hers, and I'm using my first initial tear as my guideline for the others all the way, and that way when I line them up they will have the same tears along the line and it will make it even. I've then gone down and cut the straight line on to neaten up the paper, but also just to use the tear on the other side like Julia has on hers. And then for my photo, I'm going to use some of this numbers paper to mat it, and then I'm also going to double mat it with this dotted paper. Not that you see very much of it, but that's okay, it's in there in the background. I'm doing a layered effect, and actually when I go down to cut it, I do actually trim it a little bit too short, which makes life a little bit difficult. And then I just rearrange how that works, but you'll see that happen through the video. Alright, so what I'm going to do before I can move on to adding the rest of the shading here with the multimedia ink, I'm going to just layer in these torn strips of paper just as she has on hers, and then when they're in place I can mark down where I need to add some of the shading, and as I said, it is the bundled sage that I'm now using, and I'm going to run it down the full length here. And I really do need to get some brushes. I think these daubers are great, but not for smooth inking or smooth distressing where it gives a soft radiance. So I'm going to invest in some brushes and hopefully that will work a little bit better. Just adding in some more here, bringing it out further because I didn't realise that I hadn't lined it up properly. And then I'm just adding a little bit more as I go, and I'm not too worried that there's that big round daub there because when I add these tags that we're now going to build, that will get covered up a little bit. So what I'm doing to build my own tags, I am using just white cardstock, and I've cut it 2.5 in width. And then I'm just cutting off little pieces of different coloured green cardstock, which are leftovers out of my scraps. So I could put this into Baby Loves to Scrap, Baby's Got Scraps as well, but I'm not. I'm keeping it true to our Scraplift Crafternoon group, and I am just going to build my own tags as I said. So how I've done that is I've cut off 1.25 inches. Well, actually, at first I did 1.5, so then I'm going to trim them all down to 1.25 because I realise it's too long. And then you can see me decide I better just do it individually so that I don't wreck my papers that I have chosen to put on the top of my tags. Now, I'm sure I could have done a cut apart paper somewhere in my collection where the tags were already in existence and just only had to be cut out, but this is just as easy and it matches the colours that I need for my photo and this layout. So once I've done that, I'm just going to fold them in half at the top lightly, not totally fold, and I'm going to trim off the corner edges there to create that tag. So now I've got the tags that I'm going to line up down the page, and I'm just marking on the page with a pencil where they're going to sit so that I can put that smoky border around them so that it gives that softening to the cardstock. Now, Julia's got on hers a white cardstock base, and if you've been watching my videos, you know I struggle with white cardstock bases, so I have got a very soft olive green, which I'm using as my base, and that's why I've gone with the shades of the green. And I actually changed my mind how this was going to go today. This photo, believe it or not, I got printed this morning, or actually at lunchtime today, because I wanted to do something else, but then this one came through, my daughter sent it to me, and I just knew, as soon as I saw it, I wanted to do it for this page. It was perfect for this actual layout. So my daughter and my son-in-law were down in the city today. They went to the wildlife park at Darling Harbour, and they were standing in front of the large crocodile sculpture, and that is how I ended up with this layout idea and this concept, because it was so funny. As soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to do this. So I'm just putting in the tags there. I am sorry about my voice, everybody. I am so sick. It has not healed. I'm not recovering. I don't know what is going on. It's lingering very long. I normally knock things over in a day or two, but this has nearly been 2 weeks, and I'm really not sure what is going on. So as you can see here, I'm layering up my photo again. So what I have done is I have printed the photo twice, and I have done one that I've mounted, and then I'm doing as the full mounting here, as you can see. I'm just going to rough up those edges of those tags because they were annoying me that they were just so flat, so I'm using my nail there to do that. And then I'm actually using that second photo as another part of the mounting, so you'll just catch a glimpse of it poking out from there, and that's carrying that photo across a little bit more. It's extending that green across and drawing it in. So you can see that limey green in the photo. Well, there I've got this limey green in the title, so that I'm balancing it across the layout. And that's how I choose my papers and my embellishments and so forth for whatever layout I'm doing, is that I use them from the photo. The photo guides or dictates what I'm doing generally. Unless I'm starting from a pre-made base, then that's a totally different kettle of fish. But this one here, when I'm using a photo to guide me, it's always the colours in the photos that tell me where I'm going or dictate what I'm doing. So as I said, as soon as I saw this photo, I knew I wanted to do crocodiles on here, and so I die cut 2 crocodiles on my Cricut. I cut out the title Crikey, and I'm just layering the crocodiles in behind like Julia had the dog paws. Now I really wanted to do them in vellum, and I do have green vellum somewhere, but do you think I could find it today? No, I could not. So they are solid cardstock. No, that's okay. I'm happy with how it turns out, and it does pick up the colours beautifully. So I'm tucking in some tickets there behind the photo to the side, just as Julia has on hers. I'm adding in a star and the camera down here in the bottom cluster, and I'm just working my way around embellishing it now, adding little bits here and there to build up the whole overall effect of this layout. And I have got some stars like Julia has on hers. I've got some foam tape which I'm popping up a heart there. I'm going to get some foam dots and pop up that star down the bottom near that crocodile. And then I have this little tab which I'm putting over here under the camera, and I will eventually add the date, which is today's date. And then I have this great little saying that I'm tucking in, and an arrow just as Julia has on hers, and that's pointing over to the other little quote that I have put on there. And the quotes are, sorry about that, quotes are: enjoy the everyday moments, love your smile, or we all have a story, and life is better when you are laughing. And they just relate to those photos. As soon as I saw that photo, as I said, my son-in-law's face, I have to teach him how to take a photo. His face does these weird things when he does a photo, and it makes me laugh every single time. Not like my children, who are so used to having their photo taken by their mum. They know that automatically that when I say it's time for a photo, let's get into a pose, and they can do that quite easily. So I'm going to have to work with him because he cracks me up every single time. I either get a photo where he's got his eyes closed, or his eyes are these wide, stunned, I'm deer in the headlights looks, and it just makes me laugh every single time. So I'm putting in a tiny little heart here underneath that little camera that I added to the top there, and you can see that I've created a similar layout to what Julia has. Okay, so I'm pretty pleased with how this has turned out. I'm adding in Nouveau drops, 3 in 3 clusters, so that your eye will roam naturally. That's setting up that visual triangle. And I will then just pretty much be finished with this layout. I will not be journaling. I'll leave that for my daughter and her husband to journal when they get this in their present later in the year. So this is how it all come together. All the girls are playing along this Sunday. There is a full playlist. I have that down in the description box below. Please stop and have a look and check out each person's interpretation of this amazing amazing layout. Sorry, I am really not with it. I'm just going to add in the date with a date stamper. It is the very first photo that I've scrapped for January 2025, so that's pretty exciting. I do have some more January 2025 photos to scrap, but this is the first. I really do appreciate you visiting today. I hope I've done something to inspire you to pull out your equipment and get creative. If I do, don't forget that thumbs up. As I said, here's the crocodiles that I cut out, that little cluster down at the bottom, the tags, the title, the camera, and the Nouveau drops. I really am impressed with how this turned out. As I said, I changed my mind from what I was going to do till this morning when I saw this, and I changed it on the spot and changed all the colours, everything, and put it all together. I will put in the string off screen, and you'll see that in the close-ups. I don't like to leave my tags undressed, so don't forget, a full playlist down below. Here's the final layout. I hope, like I said, I've done enough to impress. Thanks to all my subscribers, and if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button so that next week you'll know when the new Scraplift Crafternoon layout will be hitting my channel. I do thank you once again, and I know I'm repeating myself, but it's so important, and I'm so excited. Happy scrapping till next time, and here's my next recommendation for you.